Hello, I am Martha Livolsi, essential oil enthusiast and certified in the Aroma Touch technique. I'm in my garden today wanting to show you some of my colors surrounding the waterfall behind me. I don't know if you can see that so well, but I love this time of year because of the vibrant spring colors. I have my umbrella with me though, as it looks like it could rain anytime and the winds are somewhat picking up. Because our theme in this beautiful month of May is about flow and clarity and vision, there's no better place to start that discussion than by the water and the beautiful colors. Today our highlight in May is about essential oil being Clary Sage, along with the month flower of daffodil and the tea blend Pure Mind. These are all such appropriate choices when we simply consider the flow in the garden with the perennial stages of life of a daffodil bulb and the perennial plant of the plant that is deriving the Clary Sage oil called the Salvia sclerea. I'm going to put my umbrella down. Maybe we're going to be lucky and not get any more rain. And hopefully I won't blow away. So here we have some Clary Sage from my garden. Clary Sage, I should call it rather the sage plant. Clary Sage is derived from this plant. And along with it are a couple leaves from the twisted redbud tree that Lisa talked about last video she did when you saw it in beautiful purple bloom. And now it's gone into a leaf that is my favorite in the shape of a heart. So, an overview for people that are not familiar with essential oil. It is the aromatic chemical compound found in each plant that serves as its immune system. We've sourced it as humans for hundreds of years to help with our own immunity, plus many other uses such as medicinal, spiritual, ceremonial, cooking, and cosmetic uses. This wonderful blend, like I said, supports our immunity when we are sometimes at stressful periods in our life, just like when a plant goes through a stressful time. The Salvia officinale plant, as it is known, actually is comprised of several recognizable plants. You might have known it called garden sage or common sage. There are actually two types, one being the greenish blue leaves that are known as sage. That comes from the southern European and Mediterranean regions. While the second plant comes from North America with similar leaves and have the purplish, even light blue to rose-colored flowers. This can be called, again, the garden sage. And this plant is steam distilled, the actual flowers, steam distilled to make the essential oil, giving it its musky, herbaceous floral scent. I love the background meanings of some words, and after looking all this up, learning about Clary Sage, I learned that the word clary comes from Latin, meaning clarus. And clarus, meaning clear, was associated in the Middle Ages with bright eyes, clearing the eyes using Clary Sage. And sage, again, has been a term we've come to know from sage advice. Sage in the Bible recognizes the teachers and the active leaders of the Jewish religion. In the Buddhist religion, a sage was considered a master of his emotions and would keep calmness of mind through challenging phases in time. The biggest health benefit of Clary Sage is its ability to balance estrogen production in the body. which leads to a profound effect on a woman's total hormonal system, or as we know it, a flow. So with that in mind, Clary Sage has been called the oil for clarity and vision. It dispels darkness and disillusionment. It helps with emotions of confusion, anxiety, hopelessness, blocked creativity, and spiritual disconnect. Now especially is the time for all of us wanting clarity and vision as we face the coronavirus challenge, leaving us with many questions of how our world became this way, as we thought it was so strong in biological, technology, and financial levels in our society. How has this virus interrupted the flow of our world and even just our daily lives? Last month we focused on spiritual purpose and profiling who we are through our heart and soul DNA. I try to remain mindful of using some of these tools to reground myself through this challenge, taking a sensitive pause in time, reflecting, meditating, just like with the Roman chamomile from our last video, where they would use Roman chamomile before entering battle to clarify their purpose and embrace courage. I heard recently a doctor speak about health and wellness, and his point was that energy can never be destroyed, but only changed or rechanneled. So what we think is controlling us sometimes simply needs to be reevaluated with clarity and vision, and hopefully that helps in itself for the flow of wisdom. From a health standpoint, Clary Sage is excellent for relieving menstrual cramps, and again, we're talking about a lot of female issues with this type of oil, especially because it has natural phytoestrogens. It supports hormone balance, relieves insomnia. It can support cholesterol reduction due to its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, kills bacteria infection. It's used in fighting leukemia and also the Parkinson's condition to help support healthy brain function and circulation. Clary Sage can be used in all three types of applications, aromatically, topically, and internally. Always use, though, a very high quality essential oil, especially if you've got a senior who's especially sensitive. Some of the lesser quality oils can have fillers, chemical, synthetic compounds that are not desirable. Clary Sage is well known in the industry to help with, like I said, hormonal imbalance. So a good place to use it is topically rubbing on the abdomen or behind the right foot by the ankle bone, where the uterus reflex point is. Also, you can put a drop of it in a teaspoon of honey and ingest it. This is great if you can find raw local honey, which really helps with allergies right now. And of course, to take the oil and just smell it from the bottle or diffuse it is so powerful for both emotional and healthful benefits. So right now, I think I will enjoy a cup, one of my favorite cups. This was my grandmother's. I love to use cups, special cups, just putting water in it. And these cups, believe it or not, they really keep things cool because they're beautiful ceramic. But just take one of your drops of Clary Sage. I don't know if you can see that bottle, but you take one of your drops and just put a drop or two in your water. And also, I have my handy dandy diffuser. And there's a really nice blend you can make with Clary Sage. Using the Clary Sage, a couple drops of Clary Sage, a couple drops of the thyme, and a couple drops of the sandalwood oil. That is very calming and restful. Clary Sage has a lot of wonderful benefits, so I hope you'll be able to enjoy it at some point. I want to leave you with a fun little cartoon that I found through my good friend Mary. And you can maybe relate to this because today I had my umbrella out, but it's a cartoon that says, I don't know if you can see it, it's a woman that's sitting inside of an umbrella. And it says, if you hold on to the handle, she said, it's easier to maintain the illusion of control, but it's more fun if you just let the wind carry you. So with that in mind, I'm closing my umbrella now, and I wonder who she is in that cartoon. Thinking maybe it's Mary, maybe Mary Poppins. So see you again next time on the ground. Stay well and joyful and courageous. Bye-bye.